Okay, hello again, everyone. We're going to go through how to enter a garnishment, and I'm going to go pretty quickly through this, but if you need to, just go ahead and hit pause, rewind, whatever you got to do. So to enter a garnishment, you first have to identify the employee and find them in the applicant screen. This is the employee we're going to use for instructional purposes only. And what we're going to do is set up an automatic garnishment / child support order for this employee. To get there, you can either hit F10 or click the employee tab here. Once you're inside the employee screen, go to Garnishments. I have preloaded types of one type of garnishment and a remit to address. You can have multiple types and multiple remit tos. What these are used for is to identify the type of garnishment that needs to be deducted. As you can see, the one that's preloaded here is a child support 50% max deduction. And in the max percentage of disposable income box, we've listed 50 as in 50%. If I wanted to load a garnishment type, I would load GA as the first two letters, and then assign a code to indicate who the garnishment is supposed to be paid correction. This would be garnishment 25 for the type. I got ahead of myself. So garnishment 25, this would identify a garnishment that should not exceed 25% of disposable income. And in this box for max disposable income percentage, we would enter 25 as in 25%. The other boxes you don't need to worry about. We don't use those. Once you've entered your information, go over to the side and hit refresh, and that will save the entry that you've made. Once we've entered in our garnishment types, we have two here to select from. We can click Exit, back into Garnishments, and we need to list the remit to address. And I've preloaded the child support address for the state of Idaho. And under the remit to code, what we're trying to standardize is a 6-character code to identify who that is supposed to go to, merely for quick reference. It is unscientific. So for this, we're going to use Ada County in Idaho. So this first two letters will stand for garnishment, and the last 4 characters will be the first 4 letters in that remit to address. So this is going to be for Ada County. So Ada County Sheriff and the address. And if you need to put attention to, you can put that on address line 3. You can actually put it on 1 as well. We're just going to use number 3. Civil section, and probably space there. Once you've entered in all the information you need, you can click out of the line that you were typing in, go down to refresh, and that saves your entry. Again, we go to exit. Now we're ready to load our garnishment. The garnishment we're going to load will be a child support order. So we have to select the type. by clicking in the box, the blank box, it'll give you a drop-down menu to select the type of garnishment. And you can see by the description here, we want to choose the child support type of CS50. Remit to, where do we want this to be sent? Who do we send the funds to that we're withholding from our employee? This will be a state of Idaho. Reference info, for gem state staffing and flex staff purposes, what we want to enter here is the case number assigned to the garnishment order. And if you look on the bottom of your garnishment / child support orders, it should give you a breakdown of how much to deduct per paycheck based on weekly payroll, biweekly payroll, monthly, etc. What we're going to use is a weekly payroll amount, and once you've entered in the maximum deduction per weekly payroll period, you can save that, and our information did save. So the weekly payroll deduction amount is here, and the system will stop at this amount. It won't deduct more than this amount. If this amount is more than 50% of the disposable earnings of the employee for the week, it will only take up to 50% till it reaches this amount. The percentage of check, you would use this if you had a garnishment, like a judgment or a tax lien that says 100% of the next payroll check until the garnishee reaches their $3,000 garnishment. You would use 100% here. Stop at amount. This would be used for garnishments that have an exact dollar amount that needs to be withheld. Child support orders do not have a stop at number or dollar amount. They continue until you receive an order to stop withholding. So this would be blank. Leave this blank for child support. The next box, so far, this tells you, it's just a quick reference to tell you how much has been deducted so far. And these other two boxes, we don't typically use these for Rocky Mountain management purposes, so whatever autofills in here is okay. Once you've entered in your garnishment, all you have to do is hit OK, and everything is saved. Now, the one thing that you need to notice about the garnishments and how they are deducted, we have different payroll periods for a lot of our different customers. Some of them are weekly, bi-weekly, or daily. Depending on what you put in this box, it will adjust how much is deducted on your employee's payroll. For instance, if I change this from a 1 to an 8 for daily payroll, it will change the garnishment amount to $120.23 per week instead of per check. And what the system will then do is take 50% of the disposable income per paycheck on daily payroll until it reaches that $120.23 maximum per week. And you can see if I change that back to a 1, it'll change this back to the amount per check. These garnishments are deducted under expense code F in Temps Plus. If your payroll is in the current side, you can run a report under current checks, deduction code F, and there's no criteria to set because it is current. If you wanted to separate it by employee, you could certainly do that. View report, and because we don't have any garnishments to show. Nothing's coming up on the report. And after you've rolled payroll over at the end of the week, if you want to go back and look at into the check history, simply click the check history box, go down to your deduction F report, set criteria, and then set the date criteria that you want to look at. If we want to look at 9/15, 9/25, we would view the report, and it would give you an itemized statement of all the deductions made, and including the remit to address for all those garnishees. Those reports are required weekly for managers to submit to the corporate office. From there, the corporate office uses those to send payments to distribute the money that we've deducted for those employees. Any questions about this? Please feel free to call Dustin or the corporate office.